Both rocking the hockers today for those of you playing along at home. Good morning campers, join us today as we go on our take 2 version of our last day on our staycation in the CBD. After having a night out on the evening before and our last evening at the Victoria Hotel, we made a quick trip to the Young Jacksons. No cameras, no footage, but a lot of fun. Met up with a couple of young guys, Derek and Ernest from Hong Kong. Shout out to you guys. Stayed a little bit too late, which meant the next morning when we made our way back home, we didn't end up doing our visits to the city, to the locations that we'd planned to visit, including ACDC Lane, Hardware Lane, and that creperie, how do you say it, creperie, in Block Arcade. So, being Saturday here in Melbourne, today we're going to head off on the train into the CBD. Free trains on the weekends over December and January here in Victoria. Thank you to the state government. We'll take advantage of that and make our way back to revisit those lost places. Both rocking the hockers today for those of you playing along at home. And we've made it. Our local train station. Next stop, Flinders Street Station in the CBD of Melbourne. Today we're taking the 2:47 train all the way to Flinders Street. Join us on our journey. Flinders Street train station. We've made it again. We'll head out through the main entrance today. So join us as we make our way to Flinders Street train station and down Swanston Street towards Collins Street in the Block Arcade. Join us for lunch at Le Petit Château, the little French creperie on Collins Street in Block Arcade. Join us for the walk. As we emerge out on the corner of Flinders and Swanston Street, across from that iconic Fed Square. Nicely decorated for Christmas, and Young & Jacksons, which we visited previously in the past. Just waiting for the lights. And away we go. Young & Jacksons, that's what caused us to miss our last day, as I mentioned earlier. So just still on Swanston Street, just crossing Collins Street in front of the Melbourne Town Hall. Still nicely decorated for Christmas. In front of the Manchester Unity Arcade, another very old building here on Collins Street as we make our way down to the Block Arcade again. Places we're planning on visiting is the creperie that I mentioned. Creperie, it's a very hard word to say and has crap in it, but it is what it is. Looking forward to a nice lunch there and a good cup of coffee hopefully. Then we'll have a wander down to Hardware Lane and finish up at ACDC Lane. And I dare say somewhere along the journey we'll find another little nook to duck into for a nice, refreshing beer. Or as we say in Australia, a good old frothy. Just passing by the Blue Tiffany & Co store here on Collins Street, approaching the Block Arcade. Now, Collins Street has a Paris end, which is further up the road on Collins Street behind us. This next section down, not sure what you call it. If it's not the Paris end, is there a name for it? Can you guys out there let me know? If you can, please drop a line in the comments as we make it to the Block Arcade. A few high teas going on here. And the smells are quite nice as we pass by in Sensory. We've always got their little fumigator. What do you call that thing, Louise? Air diffuser going. And we're going to head around the corner here to Le Petit Château, our destination today. Le Petit Château restaurant, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at Le Petit Château, and today we've gone and ordered the Ocean.
The Ocean, which is smoked salmon, cream cheese, avocado and capers.
So I've gone for the Julia's, which is crushed biscuits, banana, homemade salted caramel, and cream. Iced latte, iced coffee. We'll let you know what it's like. The good old halftime swap. And that's the end of that. It was actually quite tasty. We had the savoury and the sweet crepes here today, and just going to finish off our iced latte and iced coffee. As you can see from the table beside us, the iced coffee, not a smash hit. We had an iced coffee and an iced latte. I had the iced latte, which was quite pleasant. The iced coffee, just had a sip of it, and it is still lingering in my mouth. So the total price of today at Le Petit Château here today, the savoury crepe that Louise had, the Ocean with the smoked salmon, was $29 Australian crepe. My option, the sweet crepe, which was called the Julia, was $22. So add that to the cups of coffee, were $7 each, coming to a total of $73.10. That's inclusive of a 10% weekend surcharge and a 1.2% credit card or card payment fee that you can't avoid. The food was nice. Wasn't earth-shattering or anything amazing, but it was quite nice, was quite pleasant. Actual location here in the Block Arcade is second to none, so I think you're paying for that. And that being said, we did really enjoy it. We enjoyed the atmosphere, except for that ice long black, which I don't think anyone really enjoyed. So here we are on Hardware Lane, which does run between Burke Street and Lonsdale Streets. Looking up Hardware Lane towards Burke Street and back towards Lonsdale Street. Join us for our walk today. There's a myriad of little eateries and bars here today that you can enjoy. We've had our lunch at Le Petit Château just earlier, so just doing a quick wander through for you guys today, and we'll be stopping the soon to be advised Irish bar that we have visited previously but haven't done so on our vlogs. The beauty of Hardware Lane and the multiculturalism of Melbourne is on show here in Hardware Lane. We have Faux restaurant here, Faux Thin, right next door to Claypot's Barbarossa, which serve Mediterranean steak and seafood, vegetarian options. Hencho in Mexico for our Mexican friends. We've got a steakhouse here, grilled steak seafood at the Table of Gypsies. And who can walk past the happy hour special here at Amigos Familia, Latin inspired. We've gone for a Corona and a Prosecco today. I'll let you know what it's like here on Hardware Lane. Okay, we've had French, we've had Mexican, multicultural Melbourne at its best. Irish times. Time for a pint. Gonna have another go at splitting the G. Cheers. Oh, just short. Oh well, you can win them all. It is quite a blokesy sort of place. Not the sort of place that you really want to be vlogging and talking to you guys too much. Guinness is good. Guinness is a Guinness. Atmosphere could very quickly degenerate here as the beer bellies get fuller. Would you agree, Louise?
Yeah.
So
it's nice. It's very nice.
Yeah. So we'll finish our drink and we'll move on quickly and safely to better surrounds. Hope you're enjoying our journey today. And hit the Frog and Toad after a quick pint at Irish Times here in Little Collins Street. Once again, it was quite blokesy in there today. Would you agree, Louise?
Sorry?
It was quite blokey in there today.
That's fine.
And travelling as a couple, and we sat next to another elderly couple who just stopped in for a quiet drink. They both had a half a pint, which is quite cute, of Guinness.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, that was cute. We obviously had our pint and glass of bubbles for the good lady Louise. And now we're heading on down to ACDC Lane. Walked past this place on the way to Irish Times, and now we're doubling back. The Turf Bar here in Melbourne on Queen Street. Let's see what it's like. Okay, so here we are at the Turf Bar, which the barman today, Joe, here at the Turf Bar, I got really excited when I saw the happy hour, but then he reminded me it's only Monday to Friday. But guess what? Joe honoured it, gave us the $10 drinks, 2 drinks at $10. The cricket is quite loud in the background here this Saturday afternoon. It's a beautiful old bar, and we'll have a quick look around. Ladies' room this way. Quite a bit of history on display here. Beautiful old woodwork. As we walk our way around the bar and back to where we've placed ourselves today. Joe has told me that closing down in a few days, the lease hasn't been renewed. What a shame. How the hell can Melbourne allow something like this to close? Joe, can you express your disappointment?
Disappointed.
Joe's disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm actually shattered. I can't believe it. It's a beautiful little old place. Thank you, Joe, for looking after us on the beers.
All good.
Yeah. Enjoy last drinks. Okay, after 25 years of continuous service here at the Turf Bar, that was our little spot today. All these beautiful little spots, little seating areas that they've got at the Turf Bar here. Once again, a lot of sporting memorabilia that they've got on display here. Nice big eatery. Little private room here. People play darts. But yeah, as you watch this, it's with sadness that I say that this place is closed. And closing at the end of December after, like I say, 25 years of service. Actually looks a lot older than that, so I will do a little bit of research and I'll put it up along the bottom of the screen right here as to what this place was previously. And yeah, just disappointing. Melbourne City Council, maybe something you guys can do. I know the lease is ended here, which is why they're closing. But yeah, as I say, as I look around one last time, as we leave this place, the Turf Bar, it is with disappointment as I push my way out onto the street. As we make our way to ACDC Lane, look, I have banged on a bit, but it is quite disappointing that places like the Turf Bar are closing in Melbourne. A significant amount of Melbourne history is there, and I believe there's a need for places like this in Melbourne if you want to attract people into the CBD to relax and recreate, which is what it's for. It's all about recreation, visiting into city. Great move by our Premier, and I'm not for or against the Premier of Victoria, but great move in terms of introducing the free train travel on the weekends. It's definitely opened us up to train travel again, which we haven't done ever as a couple. Anyway, just walking down Little Collins Street here, passing the Excelsior. Some beautiful little establishments here as we make our way down towards ACDC Lane, which is off Flinders Lane. Okay, as we make our way to ACDC Lane, I can't help myself. 2 Sapporo glasses, $15. House wine and sake, $6. Here at Little Ramen Bar. We have all bases covered in Melbourne. Trust me, come here now. Go and walk around the city. There are so many little bargains and little places that we don't even know exist. Little Ramen Bar here on Little Collins Street. And moving along, right next to the Little Ramen Bar, we've got Guido, Italian. Once again, Melbourne has all, our multicultural background is just really on display today. We continue our journey up Flinders Lane. Rule Galette is another creperie place that Louise and I have visited previously. In my opinion, and again just looking at the imagery here in Melbourne, far superior to the place we went to today. Not saying the place we went to today was bad, but Rule Galette, definitely the one. We'll put the address down below.
But the setting was better when we went today.
Yes, Block Arcade setting was really nice, but Rule Galette, the crepes there were on point. And again, we'll attach some photos to show you what it was like. Continuing our walk down to ACDC Lane, We're passing by Hosier Lane, not sure if you can see that in the bright light. A very Instagrammable spot with plenty of people taking photos in this laneway between Flinders Lane and Flinders Street here in Melbourne. Hosier Lane. Hosier. Walk down Flinders Lane has taken us back past Loon, Croissanterie, and look what it is. It's Madison, sir. It's a discotheque. Corner of Flinders Lane and Russell Street here in Melbourne, the old Madison's nightclub. Verified, 3 stories of fun. We have made it, ACDC Lane. Okay, have a look, tell me what you think. A little bit disappointing, but anyway, ACDC Lane here in Melbourne. Not sure what this place is here on our left. We've got a general admission and guest lists line, bookings and VIP. A couple of girls taking Instagram shots there. Bar Bambi. Pastuso at the end. With ladies and gentlemen, this is everything that makes up ACDC Lane. Once again, not 100% sure what all the fuss and fanfare is about. As we make our way up, and I'll get the obligatory shot in front of the sign, the ACDC Lane sign, to show you the fact that we are here. But yeah, expected maybe a little bit more, maybe a restaurant or a bar, but ACDC Lane here in Melbourne. Okay, I expressed my disappointment, which is probably a little bit wrong. Louise is taking a photo of some of the little arty sort of installations that they have along the laneway, and we'll add those at the end of this video segment. Enjoy the shot. On our way out of ACDC Lane, we're passing past Tipperary, the Garden State Hotel. Another little establishment that Louise has been keen for us to visit. Next time. There's always got to be a next time. You always got to leave yourself a reason to come back. Can't get everything done in one trip. Melbourne is amazing and it's treated us so well today. So many multicultural experiences that we've had today. As I said, we started with the French crepes, had a Mexican beer in the Mexican restaurant, moved on to the Irish bar, which was a little bit noisy, had a beer at the Turf Bar, very Australian, very sporting themed. As we pass Edelweiss Bistro and Bar, Death & Co interests me, established 2006. Death & Co, please tell me the story. Sorry, your name was?
Oh, now I'm caught out. I'm Jack, bar manager of Death & Co in Melbourne. Wonderful. So, in terms of Death & Co as a whole brand there, so opening their doors on New Year's Eve of 2005, coming into 2006 on the Lower East Side of New York. They've been this amazing kind of legacy cocktail bar that's really helped kind of shape modern cocktail bartending. Their most prominent drinks like the Naked and Famous and Kingston Negroni and things like that, Coffee Park Swizzle. So over the years, they've been popping up venues through America, so Washington DC, Denver, Colorado, Los Angeles, and now most recently moving over to Australia and opening venues in both Melbourne and Brisbane.
Passing by the Duke of Wellington Hotel on the corner of Russell Street and Swanson Street on our way to Flinders Street train station. Crossing against the lights again, but hey, that's how we roll. That's how I roll. And Louise, unfortunately, has to come along for the ride at times. Just living a dream here in Melbourne. Hope you enjoy the show. And a bubble guy making a roaring trade with his bubbles that are just going in absolutely every direction.
Good idea. Are we crossing?
Yeah, we can cross here, so we'll cross. Oh, bubbles going in my face, as you may or may not be able to see. But there's the bubble guy going nuts. Here in Melbourne, Flinders Street train station, our destination. Young and Jackson's, not today, not again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Melbourne, this is Flinders Street, and this is our train. Are we going to get on? And we made it, and we got a seat. What a bonus. Leaving the CBD. That's it. Back at our home train station, heading home, walking home. Hope you enjoyed the day today with us here at Just Love Travel and Dining. We fit a lot in today. Today was going to just be an add-on day to our recent staycation, which will be the video before this. Unfortunately, so many nice things. Melbourne's such a beautiful multicultural melting pot of little bars and restaurants that we're able to see today, and we really only just touched on a couple of them. We did set out with a very brief mud map or plan of places that we wanted to visit, which were Hosier Lane, the French Creperie and AC/DC Lane. Along the way we filled you in with as many little places as we could to show you what Melbourne is like. We had a couple of beers, had a bit of food, had a bit of wine. Not the wine that you're thinking of, but the wine is in the drinking wine. Hope you enjoyed the show today, guys. See you next time. Please like, subscribe, share, comment on our content, but most importantly, watch. Cheers, guys. At Just Love Travel and Dining.